This is a sound check. Could somebody let me know in chat if they hear the music? Thank you, Joan. I'm going to turn the music down because we have some questions. Joan, did you have a question? I'll unmute your mic. It says attendee is self-muted, so you can unmute yourself, Joan. Do you have a question? You might want to check your audio setting, Vince. Jackie, did you have a question? I see you have your question mark on. You can unmute yourself. Andrew, send me a file. I think I figured out a way to get your otoacoustic emission. Eugenia, you want to open your mic and tell me what your question is? Also, Jackie. Okay. Don't have a question, Jackie. Okay. Eugenia, do you have a question? Jackie, I see your hand up. Do you have a question, Jackie? Before we start, I had a timer up here. 8 minutes till showtime. Vince, I see your hand up. You want to unmute yourself and talk to me? Okay, I unmuted your mic, Vince.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right, last year my mother was diagnosed with dementia via an MRI scan, and then a month ago we went for a second opinion, and the doctor, just by asking questions, said it's not dementia, it's Alzheimer's. What's the difference?
Well, there's several different kinds of a dementia, and we'll talk about that in the presentation. You
Okay.
can have Lewy proteins, especially in England. There's a lot of Lewy proteins, which means environmental toxins.
Okay.
So there's a type of Parkinson's dementia, there's vascular dementia. So we'll look at those different kinds.
Do you think the questionnaires that the doctors do is a reliable way of determining dementia or Alzheimer's?
Well, they tell you that they can only tell after you're dead, and they look at your brain to look for some of the proteins in there. But we have several different kinds of databases that we can look and see if there's early dementia by frequency. And
Okay.
I'll also show you a graph that you can take a vocal print, and it will show you the architecture for dementia.
Right. Because in the UK, a doctor can diagnose you with dementia by basically asking 30 questions and draw a picture, and they'll determine from that whether you have dementia or Alzheimer's.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their methods are.
Right.
I just know about numbers and vocal prints.
Okay. Well, I'm here to learn.
We have a 2-day class going on right now.
Right.
And it's online, so you can get it, you can download it. You don't have to sit through class. But you can also join the portal, soundhealthportal.com. And I think it's $20 that you can use the dementia bundles.
Okay. Do I just need a better microphone for that?
Yes, a good microphone. Go mics are on sale at Amazon right now for $49. They're usually $70. So Amazon, Samson, SAMSON, Go mic.
Okay. And how do I actually treat my mother with? Do I play a frequency to her, or?
Frequency or music, or maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's circulation, so there's herbs for that. So we'll just work it out how you want to do it.
Okay, thanks.
And if you want to take our classes, you get all the equipment and frequencies to be able to do it on your own.
Right, okay. So would I need to play it to her on a daily basis on a CD or something, or?
You can play it through a headset or a speaker at night. At night, it's better for dementia patients. But let's do a vocal print and see if it is dementia or if it's something else.
Right, okay.
Sometimes it can be toxicity. You never know. You'll see us do a demonstration. We have a volunteer for this evening. So,
okay. As you understand, with getting someone to treat dementia, it's compliance. You know, asking them to play something of a night when they can't remember to take the medication, it gets difficult that way.
Well, you just put it on and leave it.
Just let it run.
It's very low, like very low in the background sound, like a refrigerator or something. I need to off this air conditioner because it's making a big buzzing noise.
Okay.
But you don't have to have compliance because you just turn it on and leave it on.
So if I just let it run 24 hours a day, so I didn't have to be there each night to turn it on, would that still?
You could, we can turn it off during the day and only play it at night. It's all timed.
Okay. So I don't have to be there to turn it on and off.
No.
That's the bit of the compliance. So, okay. So I don't have to actually physically be there to turn it on and off. I can just on a timer. Right. Okay. That sounds good then.
But the first classes are free, and on the portal, there is, let me see if I can find a picture. On the portal, there's a lot of tutorials that you can learn to do this on your own.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the link for the catalog.
So I don't want to hog up the whole chat, the only one asking questions. But...
Well, we still have 3 minutes to go before.
If it's something that I can just have it on timer and it'll just play while she's asleep, then that's great. So I don't physically have to be there.
So open catalog. Why is this not opening? Let's look at it over here. Go to soundhealthoptions.com and type in the word catalog. And It's got about 100 tutorials on there and Vimeos, and it will show you how to do a lot more than we're showing this evening, because we only have an hour tonight.
Sound Health Portal, Sound Health Options, right? Okay.
Yeah. And look for the catalog. Just put it in the search bar.
Right, I'll do that then.
Michael, thank you for being here. We're going to start in just 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Do you want to say anything to the group? Michael Petrick is here, and he is the creator of the portal, the online workstation. He's the genius behind getting all your work done online instead of you having to stumble through it. Michael, I think I'm going to put on and make you a panelist or staff. I think I don't know how to do this. Michael, you have a question? Well, everybody can open their mic, but we do ask them to keep them quiet while we're talking. But if you want to say something, Michael, just open your mic or I'll do it for you. Okay, your mic is open, Michael.
Oh, good evening, Sherry. Yeah, I tried to unmute my mic and it wasn't working. And
well, it says you can, but it's not letting anybody.
okay, so yeah, if people have questions, portal users that if they have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But I haven't prepared anything special for tonight.
Okay, for those of you who've had trouble with the portal was hit with thousands of people, fake people coming in. So if it's been slow and you haven't heard from us, please get back in touch.
That's a good point, Sherry. Yeah, it's just the spammers have been hitting our registration process. And what they do is they put in a live person's email, but it's they just flooded with thousands of them, and so all these people are getting emails from Sound Health Portal, and then we get blacklisted. So that was a kind of a neat trick, but there's a way to prevent that, and so we've implemented that a couple of days ago, and I think things are back on track.
Great. We had a big seminar this weekend, and I think when people advertise things like that, and that's where these spammers jump in and just try to shut you down. Because what we're doing is helping people and getting information to the people so they can have dominion over their own health. And there's some people who don't like that. And so they try to close everything down. Okay, we're going to be together for the next hour. Michael, can you see my broadcast? It just gave me a thing here that said I'm not broadcasting.
No, I see the silent killer of the mind, Alzheimer's. Yep, looks good.
Okay. We are going to be together for an hour or so, and we do have a volunteer that has sent me WAV files, so you'll get to see how we do this. The idea behind these portal demonstrations is for you to join the portal and then ask to have the Alzheimer's database put in your stash, and then you can do this for other people. And we have, good grief, how many? 50 at least tutorials on the portal that show people how to do everything. So we'll go through that too this evening. Okay, I'm going to go to the beginning here and give you a little bit of information. Some of it new that we have put together.
Sorry, searching for catalogue, do you search on Sound Health Portal or options?
Sound Health Options is where it gives you the catalog.
Right, okay. I just
The
clicked
Sound
on.
Health Portal has tutorials that will walk you through all of it. From maybe we can get Michael to introduce that a bit. Do you want to be prepared for you to take over, Michael, so you can show the portal and where all the help is?
Sure. Do you want me to? You don't want me to do it right now? You want to give me a second, or?
Yeah, go ahead and set up and I'll get started.
Okay.
Okay, this is a series that we've put together in support of setting up a bioacoustic center in every community to show you how to use math as a support to your health so that you're not dependent on the government, US government we're talking about. One of the things they said in the presidential debates was that the only way that we could balance the budget was to take medications away from senior citizens. Now, they've done a good job here of killing off a lot of the senior citizens, and that's probably enough in this demonstration to get us knocked off. We've already gotten knocked off of Vimeo for trying to help people deal with immunizations using herbs, but we are going to have those back up so you guys can get in touch. Sound Health Options is where we're putting all the new stuff. Michael will also be putting some of these Vimeos recordings on the portal so people can have access to them. Okay, I'm your host today, Sherry Edwards. This is our building. This is an old schoolhouse. We have a library and a studio and classrooms, but governor doesn't allow anybody to visit. So right now, we're only doing online things for people and writing reports for people. We started this in the 80s. We opened our doors to the public in 1991. we were on the college campus for a while, but we ran out of room. And so now we're in this old school building where we have 9,000 square feet, 3 floors. We usually invite people to visit, but the governor says, no, we can't do that. So somebody has their mic open and they're doing something with a cup. Sounds like a pencil cup. So could you check your mic and maybe turn it off? If you have questions, we do have the question bar open. This is our catalog, and so most everything we have is here. And all the classes, we have classes online that you can take. We have everything from free up to professional. But one of the things that really would get started is these are classes that we're taking or that we're offering to people. And at the bottom, it describes what everything is and what you get and all the equipment you get. At the bottom is all the tutorials. Somebody still has their mic open. They're still fooling with a cup of something. So here's some tutorials, professionally done, very well done. GNS tabs, it gives you all the different tutorials that have been put together for you so you don't have to set in class. So that's all on the catalog. So go to Sound Health Options, type in catalog, and all that'll pop open for you. Okay, at the center, we stick a microphone in front of your face. We take a 30-second sample, and then we put that into the crunching machine, and it gives us all the math that we need. We just had somebody come in with a bummed up shoulder. They'd fallen, they had a motorcycle accident and fell on their right shoulder. And it ended up being a muscle underneath the subscapularis, and they didn't have much mobility. But subjecting them to the sounds that their voice indicated they needed cleared up the pain, and a couple days will probably give back all of the mobility of what's going on. We do great with muscles and sports injuries. We also do biochemistry. I was trying to think of one we just did. Oh, somebody had MS and they couldn't see right. And we were able to help them biochemically to look at the chemicals in the muscles that were causing the problem in their eye. So one of the things we do here, and we've done for 30 years or tried to, is looking at groups of people that are alike, everybody that has arthritis or dementia, and we look at them as a group, and with about 3 people, I can usually break the code of the math of the disease. And so in 2004, we put this out. Bioacoustic speaking, persons with similar wellness issues produce similar, if not identical, vocal biomarkers. And since that time, Mayo Clinic and MIT and Carnegie Mellon and a lot of Amazon just filed a patent on our stuff. So we're getting a lot of attention, but we don't want the people who are gonna, I don't know how to say this politely, outrageously charge you for something that we're trying to offer you for free, because we think all of this belongs to the people, and that's why we want to help people give things like pain pills by sound. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that we do that. But this is catching on. It's only taken 30 years because we didn't have any money. We didn't have any doctors. We just did this by trial and error of really looking at people's vocal prints. But at the same time, we had to say, we're looking for data. If you get well, that's your problem. So that we could stay out of the way of the government. We went to the FDA. They said, this is not medicine, go away. We went to the National Institutes of Health. They said, oh, this is interesting, but we don't have any place to put you. Why don't you do case studies and collect data? So that's what we did. We want to look at the idea of the potential of math as medicine. So you can go home from work and say, oh, I'm home and I'm really tired and oh, what's going on? And we'll have a microphone in your house someplace and it'll be able to say, oh, your norepinephrine is really low and your pyruvate is really low. Let's cook something that will give you some of that information and feed you what you need by nutrients, or we can give it to you by sound. That's my ideal, to have a house that would give me back the sounds I needed based on my voice. But are we making people lazy that way? Are we making people addicted to sound, just like people are addicted to food? I know when I am craving tomatoes, I have low vitamin D. So people have learned that all along as they crave food. It's probably because something in that food, the body intuitively knows that's what it needs. So we have broken down the idea that your brain is a central processing unit, just like it's a computer, and it has all these frequencies and sends it out through your neural network and lets you crook your finger or stick out your tongue or what's going on. And we can control pieces of that. So we want to provide this information to you to set up a center to help you and your family. We just have put up things about coronavirus. And the more we looked at coronavirus, the more that we learned. One, that radiation poisoning made you more susceptible to coronavirus, any kind of pathogen, and it also attacked your mitochondrial DNA. So when you go on the portal and look at what's offered to you by way of free evaluations, then it'll give you almost an automatic report. I'm thinking about something else. When I say there's free evaluations on the portal, it's that you're going to take your vocal print and the computer's going to look at it and send you a report. This does not mean, and people have misinterpreted, that I'm going to give everybody a free vocal print that I'm doing. It takes me hours. The last one, it took me 21 hours to solve. Usually it takes a couple hours. 21 hours to solve a case of a little baby that was not talking. And it was because some of the vocal cord muscles and support was not doing what they're supposed to do. But now the baby will start talking and will totally change their lives. That's what we want for everybody, to have that information in your hands. I think this is just something that we forgot. We could do it. We did it with sound. Probably the first language was really songs and combinations of notes that people just intuitively knew to give to people. And you have toners now and chanters that help you do that. But I think everybody learned, or this was intuitive. We can also look at predictions, what's going to happen. So we want to show you how to do this. So almost everybody knows somebody that has dementia. So we're going to get through the information quickly and then do a demonstration for you. There is a BioAcoustic Basics book. If you take our 2-day free course, they give you this book. You can buy this book. There's 3 versions, 60 some pages, 70 pages, and 120 depending on the level. So this is free to you. You can download it from our site. So as we go through this, you can jump on the portal, sign up as a guest to learn how to do it. Then you can ask to use certain softwares, and Alzheimer's is one of them. and I think it's $20 a month per software. So you can charge $50 or $100 and make your money back quickly. We also have video for you. This is doctors who work with us, Miracles of Non-Medicine. And this talks about heart disease and tremors and trauma. So you can also download that, just Miracles of Non-Medicine from Sound Health Options. We're trying to give you support and get you started. Okay, to start about Alzheimer's. We did Robin Williams' voice 3 years before he committed suicide. And I was on an international show the day after he committed suicide. And I said, I don't think it was depression. I think it was dementia. And all the people with me, this panel just poo-pooed that idea. But the next day, his wife went on TV and said that he had dementia. In November, they did an autopsy and proved that he had dementia. Now, we did this 3 years. We recorded him on the Ellen DeGeneres show 3 years before the Alzheimer's showed up. This is a time domain vocal print. And the gray is normal. This uppy lump right here was GABA, and that's what made him so zany, was the GABA. Yes, that was an issue, but this is what the architecture of Alzheimer's looks like. And this is Robin Williams' graph. This is Nancy Pelosi's, Hillary Clinton. Nancy Pelosi has some of this too, but this is Hillary Clinton. Now, hers isn't as bad, but you can see she has that architecture. In her case, it's, I think it's Lewy proteins with some kind of external influence of what is going on. So we've been following this all along of what's going on and what the autopsy revealed. It revealed the presence of Lewy proteins, and that's the one that poisons you. For instance, I'm going to talk about glyphosate and how that creates Lewy proteins. There's a picture of what they look like when they do an autopsy. You can see these protein blobs in here that keep the signals from going where they ought to go. If you guys want, we can put up this PowerPoint for you so you can download it when you're looking at the recording. So when we're looking at dementia, just Alzheimer's, 3.95 million people carry at least one type of dementia. That's incredible. That's how many people you have as customers, as audience, as potential people you can help. So just Alzheimer's, 5.5 million. Vascular dementia, which is what Biden has, by the way. It is dementia based on vessels and what is circulating, fluids that are circulating through your body and your brain. 1.6 million. Other types, Parkinson's dementia. So look at who and what we can help. If we have a center every place, you take the vocal print, you look for that architecture, and we have ways to give people what they need, like choline and those kinds of things, so people wouldn't have to have dementia anymore. 5.5 million. Vascular dementia, 1.6 million. One person would never get to all of those people in their lifetime. So that's why we want help with these centers. And with Parkinson's also, we have a way to help you set up Parkinson's. Parkinson's dementia is really a problem. Other types, Parkinson's, ALS has some dementia associated with it. Hypoxia has dementia. This is the one that really threw me. Glyphosate, Roundup, weed killer, tends to strip the body of something called NRF2. And when that is stripped, you become susceptible to Parkinson's. Stephanie Seneff was on our radio show a couple Sundays ago, and she's written a paper about this. I'll try to see if they will post the link to this. But think of it, pesticides can cause dementia because it strips away the cellular protection outside covering and allows the pesticide, the poisons to get in. And what happens then is the cells do not communicate. Also, I think autism is a form of dementia. Andrew Molden's work talks about, and he's an MD and a PhD neurophysicist. He's dead now. He was a Canadian doctor. And he said that he can prove that giving children anybody a shot causes micro strokes in its young people's Alzheimer's. And there's other shows about that available on Vimeo from us. There is also a book about who we are and what we do. This is Jill Mattson, who did the frequencies to combat corona, and she's giving those away for free on her site. And can somebody look that up? Frequencies for Defense. And nearly 10 days after Jill put out her music, MIT and Carnegie Mellon put out music against corona. We have also been in alternative medicine that says I'm the pioneer of vocal profiling and that this started 1982. And I mention that because 5 different companies have just filed patents on vocal profiling within the last 6 months or so. And here it is. It belongs to us. We have court records, court documents, because we sued people for using it without permission, and we won. And it's in the court records that this belongs to Sound Health and Sherry Edwards, and Sherry Edwards as the pioneer. In Health on the Edge, there's some really important people in this book. I can't remember. Valerie Hunt, for one. And we're a whole chapter in this book about we are health on the edge. If we can get it in a presentation that is easy for people to use and available. And that's what Michael Petrick has done with the portal. So Michael, are you ready to show the portal?
Sure, yeah, I'll go over the training stuff that we have out there because we've got a boatload that is really helpful for those people that want to learn.
Now here is where I have a problem. I want to make you the presenter and you've disappeared. Here it is. Make presenter. Okay. You're on and they'll be able to see.
That's good. Which screen do you see?
A black screen with lots of stuff down both sides. Yes, now I see the portal.
Okay.
Great.
So we have 2 websites. So one is soundhealthportal.com, and this is the community center where you can access the training under support. And then the other site is the actual portal, which Sherry will show you in a few minutes. That's where you'll analyze the voice samples and produce results and be able to do just a ton of good research to help you find the root cause of the what ails you. Anyway, so let's briefly on the portal here. Sherry has a campaign that she's always running, and so these are special analyses that you can have done on your vocal print. And so we have a way for you to record your voice and then submit it in for a free voice sample analysis. So you just need to log in, and we only capture your name and email address. And we do that because we need to email you back your results. So we don't ask for credit cards or anything else like that because it's totally free. But you can come in and you can record your voice. And this is a video that shows you how to do it, because there's lots of techniques, like you don't want to into your microphone. That destroys the quality of the recording. So be sure to watch this. It tells you how to do it. And then you can go through and click here and it'll fill in the blanks and drop in your voice samples and you'll get a free analysis. For those that want to take the next step, we have the some tutorials here. We have a biomarker set of tutorials, and Sherry's going to go through this. Biomarkers take a look at the big picture and try to help you hone in, drill down into what the root cause is, because there's so many things happening in the body. You could be hungry, you could have a muscle issue, could have a chemical imbalance or something like that. And the biomarkers are designed to help you drill in and figure out where you should start looking. So there's a lot of good stuff here. There's been a lot of work done here over the past year or so, and they're short. One might be 10 minutes, but we try to keep them around 5. And those that want to sign up for you get a 2-week free period with the apprentice program. We have it in I think the list here. Let's see where it is. It compares the different programs. There's different functionalities between the different levels. The technician level, and then we have a practitioner level, which requires some additional training. But with the apprentice, you can sign up and take 2 weeks. Take a look at all these tutorials here. This is all over the web, so you don't have any software to install. We recommend microphones, how to capture a quality voice recording. This is the same video as I mentioned before. And then preparing them for uploading, you can edit out the pauses. If somebody stops for a second and you don't want to analyze just blank, blank no noise, you can cut that out. And here we show you how to edit and export that stuff. But here's the overview of the portal. It's fairly simple. Step 1, 2, 3, create a client, upload a voice sample, do an evaluation. So we try to make it as simple and easy and quick as we can. And creating evaluations. And so these are the videos that we have available, and they're free. You don't have to do anything. And again, you get two weeks free with the apprentice program. After that, it's $19.95. So it's very affordable, and it's a great way to help get to the root cause of lots of issues. Sherry, anything else you want me to go over?
Yes, some people are asking, how do I change from a free guest over to a practitioner?
Oh, okay. I think you should talk about that.
Well, they have to do it on the portal. They have to take the class, the 2-day class, which is free. And we're having a lot of trouble finding microphones. And somebody just asked about that in the questions. Samson Go mic, Snowflake mic. In the BioAcoustic Basics textbook that we just talked about, they have a list of microphones. Do you have a list on the portal about which microphones I should use?
We had a couple that were listed, but I thought you had more, because I think you probably get asked that question a lot more than I do. Is it under shop here?
It's under BioAcoustic Basics book. I don't think you're going to find it here. Okay. You might want to just look up microphones and see what happens. We put it in the book. We put it on the, wow, I haven't seen that. That's beautiful.
I thought you had microphones here.
Yeah, these are just some of the
here they are. Yeah.
There. Yeah. Meteorite. Now the Go mic is not out of stock right now. They raised the price to $69 and they just reduced it again back to 49. So grab it on Amazon, or you get that with your class. If you come to a paying class, you get a microphone with it. Thank you for buying that, or for finding that. The back box, we try to include everything, but people complain there's too much. If people want to buy just Alzheimer's or Lewy proteins, do you have a bundle ready that they could use? Or can you show them bundles?
Yeah, I'd have to check. Let me see. Frequency, category, and Alzheimer's. Oh, A-L-Z?
ALZHEI.
Z.
I thought you could go to the biomarker spot and show them that.
Yeah, so we have this one. Let's see if we've included it into, we have a mental neurological bundle, a biomarker bundle. And Alzheimer's is in that bundle, disorders and the brain biomarker bundle. Does that make sense?
Can you go to bio bundles?
Sure, yeah. Let me pick somebody here.
Carrie, send me that information, okay? Audio Technica is really expensive, Mike. If we really need a condenser, unidirectional, one that'll go down to about 50 to, or 15 to 20 hertz. We do not want vocal mics because they filter you.
See, we have in the brain bundle, we have many faces of Alzheimer. And this is Joe Biden's.
Also, we should put some Alzheimer's stuff in that bundle, or brain stuff. We can look for brain damage. We can look for brain chemicals. This is something that Michael created to go to root cause. Okay, here is brain. What's the cause? Astrocyte is 4 point. Can't see that, so small.
Where are you looking?
Astrocyte,
Oh, this one.
the green
Okay.
one, yeah.
Okay.
So that's like brain damage. So we look for green here. Can you just show the green without everything else? Yeah. So these are the two things that we would look for, one high and one low. And this is root cause. You will spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to duplicate what you see right here and what is causing what by your biochemistry and your genetics. And Michael has put this all in order for you, so you don't have to go digging.
Yeah.
We had a woman come in with migraines. And so the doctor put her on medication, which caused ulcers. Ulcers caused her gut biome to be upset. When we did her file, it was a muscle in her neck. So this identifies what the real cause is. The doctor she went to didn't even consider looking at a muscle in her neck. Okay, Carrie has put in, is this a link to a microphone or a recording? Oh, it's a microphone. I certainly will check that out, Carrie. Thank you. The Samsung's on back order. She just received it. Okay, they just went on sale and we ordered a pile of them. We're trying to order them wholesale to make them less expensive for all of you. But we got with this company who said they could supply anything we needed. And then they said, oh no, we don't have that. So after we paid all the money to get connected to them and get a wholesale account, they just dumped us. Okay, Thomas says, I'm not seeing what you're speaking about. Are you not seeing the visual presentation that we are showing, Thomas? There might be something wrong with your computer setup. I'll make sure that you get a copy of this. We'll post it probably tomorrow. Okay, other questions about if they are a guest and they want to become a practitioner on the site, all they have to do is take the 2-day course. We have them every month. We also have it recorded online, so you can do it that way. But just get in touch with Jessica at the office and she'll try to accommodate what you do. I think the best thing about the portal is that you don't have to figure out anything on your own. It gives you the information. You punch buttons. One of the things people said, this is too hard. It takes too much time, especially a doctor would say that. And so the portal is punch a few buttons and get a report. Can you show them a report, Michael? This one?
Sure. Yeah, let's go. We'll stick with Joe Biden.
Okay.
And what this is there are 3 vocal prints here, and they've been pulled in, and each vocal print has 1 evaluation. And that's what you do is you vocal print, then you pick points, and then you create an evaluation. So here are the evaluations. This is the most recent one here. And we talked about the Alzheimer's template. So we have basically all the frequencies and, tens of thousands of frequencies that we've got. And each one is grouped by, if you take a look at gallbladder or Alzheimer's or vascular issues. So we have over 200 different groupings that you can, if you're looking at muscles or chemistry or psychological issues, I mean, we've grouped all these frequencies and created these templates. And so that's how you kind of dig through the weeds here, because there's just so much information. But if we open up this evaluation, I just clicked on it. This is his vocal print, and you'll see some spikes down here. I think Sherry showed them in her vocal print of Hillary's, I think it was. I don't know if we saw Joe Biden's, but this is some stuff happening down there. And so this is an evaluation. These are the templates. And I'm not sure I'm ready to show you.
How about the up with the printer, that ranking?
Here's the report, yeah.
This shows the ranking of what you should work on first.
Yep. So here's a copy of this vocal print here. And then page 2.
This looks like it hasn't been saved because there's nothing in there. The first page is
right.
instructions,
Oh.
the last is definitions.
What the heck? Okay.
Did we pull points and save it?
Oh, that was reciprocal. I'm sorry, I pulled the wrong one.
So these are what we ran on him, gallbladder.
No, something's happening here. Sorry.
It's still not giving frequency hits. Maybe we need to hit on it.
Let's see.
You don't want to do.
Oh, I don't have this template. I'm not logged in as the administrator, so I haven't been authorized for these templates. Let me log in as the administrator here.
Well, we don't want to show frequencies either.
No, we don't, but I won't go to that Biden.
But we could at least show the ranking.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so now I've got access to those templates. Go into the evaluation. Here's the wave file. Same one we were looking at. Now here's the report.
Blue, pretty normal.
Oh, wrong one.
Things are too high or above and too low or below. And what Biden had was inflammation of circulation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I clicked on the reciprocal report. Let me click on this one here.
That one came in really handy. I crushed my finger this weekend and it was all black and blue, and the reciprocal gave me the right frequency. So teaching people how to use these formulas is a really important thing.
So here we go. We got 4 pages on this one.
That's good. Okay, so the ranking, I have trouble showing it online sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like it is what the, can I
Go to the
zoom it?
bottom, go to the bottom and move it over.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, there we go.
So number one is the first thing you should look at. So elastin and glutathione peroxidase, and this is what causes intestinal issues when the intestines aren't properly taken care of. And that's the highest high for him. So we'd go back and see how his body's making glutamine.
And you can click on it. It's a link. It'll shoot you out to the Wikipedia, and it pulls up glutathione. It couldn't find the 6, but it found that, and so here's where you can dig into it, find out more details.
The reference in here really saves a lot of time. His dopamine is really high too. He may be on feel-good medication or just dopamine.
It's high.
Alzheimer's often have low levels, so that would tend to say he's either taking medications, it's not Alzheimer's, it's something like Lewy proteins or vascular. So going back and running him through circulation would combine all of these reports. This is the easiest report. It's the best one to give your clients immediately, and it takes more time to type in their date of birth and all that than it does for this computer program to give you the answers.
Yeah. Well, Sherry spent years putting together this what we call the matrix, and what she's done is analyzed each one of, like dopamine here, and has determined the different frequencies, and then we match that with what we see in their vocal print, and this is the result of those years of work. It's amazing.
Acetylcholine high, that's not normal. So that would mean he's on some kind of medication to support choline. Now, Ronald Reagan had a problem with choline, zinc, and copper. And we also have his files to test these against. So looking at everybody who has Alzheimer's gives us lots of information, and that's available on the portal. In your own little cache, you can keep everybody, and you can do lots of comparisons.
And then if I go on, there's 4 pages here. So this is the top rank here. So these are the most important, the most significant. Page 2 contains some more items, and let's see how far we go down. This stopped at 4, another page of 4 and 5s, okay? So there's lots of research that can be done there. And this last page is Sherry's index regarding what vitamins are, genome, hormones, to help, because a lot of people will get a report and they just, okay, so it's a biochemical, what is that? Not everybody knows that. Again, that's a link out to the Wikipedia, and you can pull in that information right there. Very cool.
Great, Michael. Okay, we're actually going to do somebody on the portal.
Okay, let me give it back to you then. Good.
Okay. We received 2 vocal prints for Vera Berna. And so we're not going to give a last name, but this is one I was working on earlier. They're having muscle pain and joint pain. So I will just cancel this and open my cache. And this is where everybody gets a cache, like a bank account. And so you keep all your files there. Everything is secure, except they found their way around it this weekend where they crashed everything. So we want to say we're going to do something new. And they were supposed to send me information, but I did not check before we started. So birthday, can you put that in the chat? Are the questions? we can make something up if we don't know. 12, 12, 12 tells the computer we don't have the birthday. I don't have the region either. And that's just for us to pull data and what we think is suspected Alzheimer's or some kind of dementia. I'm still not DEMENTIA. Okay, you can also go to the bottom and fill in. And when you do that, the computer sort of helps you get where you're going. So we could do PTSD or COPD or brain, but we don't have to do that now. This is just new. Now, when this happens and it comes up and it just says new and doesn't give me a chance to save
You have
it.
to hit refresh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hit the F5 key or the refresh button in your toolbar up on top left.
Toolbar here.
Oh, you got it. Okay, you got it. Okay.
And
It was just using partial screen, so that was happening.
yeah, it's just running me around again. So I go to this little hamburger thing, see what it saved for me. It didn't save anything. It says it's not there. So I'm going to start over. So possible Alzheimer's. Now I listened to both files. Usually we send two. And the first one, save and continue. The first one, and I've already looked at this, had more problems with it, meaning she was using words that were kind of slurry or not really pronounced correctly. So I made a file for her on my desktop. I just made a file for Waves online and put it in there. So I listened to both of these using Audacity, and it was the mundane that I thought had the most issues with it. But you can use both and compare them. So it's opening up, and we save and continue. And here is also where you can go to Bio Bundles and look at what the computer did. It takes you through every software we have, and it gives you a summary. Says depression, that might be biochemical. And then cachexia, which is off balance. Hypoxia, which is not enough oxygen. Vascular issues. So if we write those down, those are things that are going to remind us what we want to look at. Hypoxia is a form of dementia, although it's not dementia, it's just not enough oxygen to the brain. And that could be iron. We can look at allergies, milk and wheat. You can print this out. We could save it in our file as a JPEG. So I have it that so I can send later. Okay. Next thing we want to do is go to evaluations. And we want to say we want a new evaluation based on what we just found out. So I'm going to look at the databases. We started with Alzheimer's. We could just go there at first, but it tells us muscle, oh, I didn't pull points. Usually it'll give us a ranking. Hypoxia and brain. This is pretty easy. Search for them. Oh, why wouldn't it give me what I just asked for? There's the hypoxia. There's brain. There's Alzheimer's. Now I want to say, okay, and go pull the points. When you see all this lumpy kind of stuff here in the middle between like 100 and 500, that's metabolism. So something is going on with her metabolism more than going on with her brain. And we can go back to bundles and look at metabolism syndrome and see where the trouble is. But let's pull the points. I'm just going to pull current because that's easier. You learn all kinds of ways to pull points when you actually take the classes. You learn that things that are open like this are really, really important. So that Michael's taught the computer to go in and choose things that it thinks is important. It didn't get this open one, so I'm going to grab it. You don't want to pull too many because so much information just confuses you. So we've pulled the points. We want to save. And now the first thing you want to do is go to that ranking report. And it's keeping me out for some reason, Michael. Did I not save? And maybe I need to save and close. I'm forgetting to save all the time. So the report comes up, but this is a report for the professional. The report that you want to give your client is here. And it'll give us a rank of what's really important, but it'll only use the databases that we told it to use. And it's coming up with 6 pages. That's pretty important. Somewhere between 5 and 8 is normal. Anything above that is probably a problem. This tells me not enough templates were chosen because there's only 6 pages. So let's look at that first page. "12 seconds. Oh, here's me go back one because it had some first ones. Let's go back to the beginning. I didn't realize it was going to put some stuff on the first page. I did it below. That is for improving your brain's function. And you can buy that at Amazon. There's a lot of companies that make it. So page 2. I think Trump is on some brain support. Also think Biden is. I think it's different. When I looked at Trump's, it was Adderall, which is something for autism. But we can look at the medications people on. MSG, monosodium glutamate. When you see that, you know they have problems with circulation in the muscles and getting the muscles to detox. And usually that's glutathione, it's glycine, glutamate. And Michael has built in a map when monosodium glutamate is high, dimethyl and trimethylglycine. So let's go look at that map. That's really important. This can cause the muscles to be stiff. It can cause the brain to slow down because communication in the nerves and the brain signaling is slowed down. Well, did I hit the wrong spot? I want the Krebs cycle chart. I think I just hit the wrong spot. There's the map, and the monosodium glutamate messes up this part right here. This map this is how you use your Krebs cycle. See, a lot of cancer patients have this in stress. This is detox. You can print this off and circle everything for your client, and you can tell where they're having a problem. This is how the body creates energy. This is how the body uses its DNA. And these two are how the body uses its incoming resources, methionine and glutathione. MSG messes up the glutathione, which messes up being able to detoxify sulfite. So once you begin to fill out this map, it's a lot clearer what you're looking at. Now, for the professional, anything that's in yellow is a #1 relevance, and that's where you go. So 40 and 30. Now those are too far. If this was like 39, we could say we could use these together, but that's not the case. C-reactive protein is high. The body is signaling that there is pain. Prostaglandins can cause pain in the muscles, but we're looking norepinephrine's high, that's good. B6, that's probably something else because it's water soluble. B12 is high, so she's not utilizing B vitamins. So I'm not allowed to say it, but she probably needs full spectrum Bs that are all synergistic to each other. Tyrosine, this is part of the signaling pathway of the brain, so it's in here twice. We really need to go see what that is. It looks like there's some thyroid interference. So we want to add thyroid to what is going on. This is the receptor, but let's see what it does. You can see how Michael has arranged this, so it's very easy to move from one thing to the other. Now, if I was going to do her chart for real, I certainly would add inflammation. I would add thyroid. But one of the things that they built in, if you go back to, all right, online, go back to voice files, open this, and go to Bio Bundles and look at metabolic syndrome. A lot of people who have this metabolic syndrome have weight in the middle. I don't know if Verna does, but it tells us fatty liver is a cause. 1.3 lipoedema. This lets fat in but won't let it back out. So let's look at root cause here of the fatty liver. So you click on fatty liver. This is too low. Cysteine, now that makes the glutathione that allows the body to detox based on that glycine and glutamate. You can buy glycine, I forget what else together. Glycine and something else makes glutathione. Calcium looks like it's low in the center here. High GLUT8, now that's part of diabetes. Fibronectin type 3, I don't know what that is. Let's see if we can find it. I don't think this will be in here. It's too specific, but we'll check and see.
Maybe just try the first word.
I was just going to stick it up here because that's easy too when it gets that specific. What does this fibronectin do? Receptor proteins. Collagen, so if she's having any pains in the joints or muscles. This will also give us the frequencies of what we need to use. And when you become more proficient about how to do it, we can show you how to detox with sound. Some things you can't buy. Like a GABA receptor, you can't buy that, but make sure there's a lot of vitamin D in the body because that's what opens and controls the receptors most of the time. Diabetes, so you can look all of this up. Leptin, that's another weight issue, a gut issue. Potassium high, we really want to look at that and see what controls potassium. So one of the things that we give you when you take the course is something called a pastel folder. And it showed up over here. And I cannot find it now. It showed up on a different file. Desktop. Let's see if we can find a pastel folder. This is important for you to be able to help your client. Pastel. So we look at this nutrient assimilation chart and we see that potassium is very high. So we want to go to the minerals, go to potassium, and it's requiring B6, which yours was high, calcium was low. So you need to look at these things in the chart and see why the potassium is not being utilized. So we know that the calcium is low. That could keep potassium from working, and potassium helps the heart rate. Potassium helps energy. Can't remember what else it does. But this pastel folder that we give you for marketing, oh, you guys weren't seeing that, were you? I had on the wrong monitor. So we went down to potassium and we're looking at what makes it work. And there's 4 or 5 pieces of paper in there that you can use for your own. It's instructions on how to read their file. It's a cover report that you can use to take our name off of it and put your name on. So we try to give you some marketing tools all at the same time. So what would we do for Verna? We would look at her calcium, get that up and running. We'd look at her cysteine. You can buy those all on the over the counter. These are genes, so they have to be done with sound. GABA receptors, mostly vitamin D. We could run her through a GABA report. Leptin, we run her through, let's go back and look at those. GABA, brain stuff, leptin, because we'd have the information here. Now, why, I'll ask later, why did that not show? Do I have to go back to frequency stuff? I have to go back to evaluations. So when we go back looking at the software now that we've pulled points, it is going to give us a ranking. And NSYNC is where all the database is about a weight. Autism is really high because we added a lot of mitochondrial stuff to that very recently. A lot of people have autism high because it's how your brain functions. But just don't let it scare you. You want to look at anything 50 or more is probably a problem. And so we want to look at frequency hits. Anything above 20% is a red flag. 69% on cachexia. This is signals from the brain to the muscles to keep your balance. It can be inherited, but most of the time it comes when people have taken statins or something to disturb their coenzyme A. And that is also in the I was going to go back to the map, but I see that we're out of time. So we're going to run you again. We certainly would say let's do cachexia. 41 on chemotherapy. That's usually poisoning in the body. So we look at the ranking that was high hits and a high percentage of hits all at the same time. And you can organize and reorganize. Also looking at this D sharp and D, that's showing up in the first two places. That's the liver. So we need to clean up the liver. And she did have fatty liver when we went to metabolism. I'm getting a message from Joanne. She's been taking potassium to strong leg cramps. They've been chronic for 40 years. We'll see if magnesium will help the leg cramps rather than the potassium. But it's showing, was it low or high? I think it was low. Oh, it was high. It's not being utilized. You'd want to give her a whole brain formula to utilize the potassium, but try adding magnesium. I'm not allowed to tell you that because that usually will clean up leg cramps. And we also have legs in here. Stick with us and let's see what's going on here. Restless and crampy legs, 8 hits. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. Yes, we do this for other people. You just have to fill an application. B12, too high, probably just not utilizing. Percocet, melatonin, magnesium malate. It says it's high though. We need to balance it out. There's the cysteine that's low. Human growth hormone. Dopamine is the lowest low. And dopamine really has a lot to do with the signaling of the brain and the muscles. That's, you get tremors if dopamine's really low. So this is another report that you can send to the client. Let's look at questions. Instructions to do a vocal print is at Sound Health Options under Clinical Services. You paid $40 for a voice analysis. Who'd you pay it to? Because we don't have any price like that. My mom lives with me and is diagnosed with dementia, many signs of MS, which she has been diagnosed with. How can I get her voice checked, and is it possible to reverse? Yes, we have reversed dementia. We reversed my own mother's dementia. She was back to using crossword puzzles she couldn't do before. Like I said, go to Sound Health Options, Clinical Services, and there's instructions there. Thomas Phelps, I'd like to volunteer for dementia, or you want to get something done on the portal. Why don't you want to show frequencies? Because people put them in other machines and really cause problems because they don't know what they're doing. I just bought the Gray Matter of Alzheimer. Does that contain everything I need to treat my mother? Well, it'll give you information vents, and there is an online generator that you can use. Go look online, Sound Health Options, and read what it's like, what you really need. You'll need a microphone, get the vocal print, get on the portal, get a report. It'll tell you what it is. If it is food or nutrients, you can do that. But if it's something like a gene or a receptor, you can't buy those. So you'll have to do it with sound. And you can have a vocal print done. There's an application there. And then the next one up is Carrie's information about another mic that we'll check out. Hey, let me see if I got everything. Does dementia cause seizures? Sometimes it can. Seizures a lot of times are B5. Do I need the tone box to apply the frequencies? No, if you've got a Rife machine or a Spooky 2, or there's a lot of machines out there. And there's generators. Look in our information about, is it crop circles? Let me write a note. I'll have her list or link the online generator. Or if you'll tell us where you are, we may have somebody near you. Does dementia, I never heard of that. Let me open this because I'm not getting to read all the question. It's cutting it off. Unusually tired today, been deteriorating. We need to look at it much more in depth than an hour online that we're really doing it for teaching purposes. She needs, well, I can't say this. You're saying she's been detoxing. Liver detox, and there's a lot of silymarin and stuff out there. You can tell when you need a liver detox, you get liver spots. So we should run her through fatty liver. She's had seizures before this, and we have to be very careful with frequencies because they can cause seizures if you put them the wrong way. Somebody asked, why won't we give the frequencies here? Because people misuse them. And they go sell them to people. Look at all these. There's people online. I can sell you frequencies for your migraines, $79. And most of it they got from us. Or they do it with a sound. I'm disgusted with what's happening with the government and Corona and how many people have approached me saying, give us the frequencies for Corona. We want to sell them. We've got people in Africa that'll pay a lot for this and we'll give you some money for it. No, this belongs to the people. They can have the frequencies. You can sing to the person. We keep our doors and research efforts open by people paying us to take our classes. And just to show you what's going on around here, I haven't taken a salary here or money from here since 2014. What dumb bunny would work that many years without a salary just so we could give this away to people? So I'm committed to getting this out and teaching everybody so everybody on earth has the ability to do this. Do you need the tone box to apply the frequencies? Sometimes if it's a gene or something that you can't buy over the counter, but we also have an online generator. Now it's digital and it's not as potent as a machine that does analog. Yes, we have a protocol and it's under clinical services. I have Spooky 2. Can I apply the frequencies remotely then with her nails? I don't know anything about Spooky. I just know a lot of people haven't. And I don't know what nails are. Does she have a problem with nails? That's vitamin D too a lot of times. You'll have to learn or talk to the Spooky 2 people and say, how do I do bioacoustic frequencies? They are in direct competition with us. I don't know a lot about it. I wish I knew more. Are you saying you apply Spooky 2 frequencies on someone's fingernails? The proof is go back to the portal and see if you gave her the frequencies, did it improve her? So if we go back to the beginning, if you give her frequencies, you can test her again and see if there was good progress. If it scattered her and made it bad and gave more anomalies, it's not right. This is only one thing, so we can't really look at it. But Michael has built in a way for you to test and see if what you're doing is correct. You know, I can't tell you all this in an hour. Go to the tutorials, see what's going on, and take it from there. I think and you use the fingernails in their remote holders. There were several tone boxes on the shop page. There are some tones that are generalized, like back pain or fab abs or face muscles, but most of the time you have something like Alzheimer's. It's very individual. I think that's where conventional medicine falls down. It tries to treat everybody the same. This tells you exactly how that person can be individualized. Can we use the tones to clean up a liver without herbal support? If you use both, it'll go quicker. What is an online generator? I don't have it right in front of me, but it's in several of our articles. And when you look tomorrow, and they'll send you a link of where you can watch this video, and I'll have them put the online generator link. We used it in Corona because online generators are digital and they kill pathogens. We gave the frequencies for the coronavirus. Mercury can cause seizures, also Gardasil. Mercury also can disturb the cornea of the eye. Okay, if you want to know more, go to the online workstation and just play around. They give you 15 days free so you can play around and learn to use it. I think it's a miracle. It's a godsend that Michael was able to produce an online workstation so everybody can do this at the punch of the button. I certainly appreciate you guys being here. My email is just my name @gmail. You can send questions, and I really appreciate you taking the time to spend some quality time with us. You are welcome, Eugenia. You have questions, just call the office or write to me and I'll see that it gets to the right person.